some of the recent movies that I watched and my thoughts on those. I want to start sharing my love for film with you guys more and kind of like my passion for acting and that kind of thing. So I decided maybe once in a while I'm gonna watch some movies and then kind of do a little like end of the month, end of the week, I don't know, like movie wrap up and like giving my thoughts on those films. I love watching movies. Like, movies are something that mean the absolute world to me. I saw every Best Picture nominee this past year and the year before, and I just love going to movies. Like, quarantine has been so hard lately because I just want to go see a movie. I love going to the movie theater and it's such a great experience and I miss it so much. But I've been trying to watch a lot of older movies lately. Like, a lot of the books I've been reading have taken place in the old New Hollywood era and I've just been obsessing over it so much. I want to be able to talk about those older films and have some opinions. Of course, I watch newer films all the time. I love cinema so much and filmmaking is just such an amazing craft, and I could just ramble about it all day, but I'm not going to do that. So also, I've been taking this like film history course just for the heck of it, just because I miss learning and I love cinema so much. So that kind of inspired my movie watching these past couple weeks, I guess. I'm going to be sharing with you a few movies I watched recently and just kind of explain my thoughts on those. So let's just get right into it. Okay, so a lot of you are probably going to be surprised because, I mean, this is an iconic movie that everyone should probably watch in their lifetime, and that is the Shawshank Redemption. So I absolutely love this movie so much. It follows a man who has been convicted of murdering his wife and her lover because she was having an affair. He gets thrown into prison, which is Shawshank, and he really has to start adjusting to this life. He spends 30 years of his life in prison for a crime he never did, but he also makes some pretty genuine friends. He also gets beaten up a lot in this prison life, and finally he decides that he's going to escape and make a new life for himself. And oh my gosh, I love this movie so much. We have Morgan Freeman in it, and Morgan Freeman is amazing. And the movie in general is so well done. Like, I love the camera work, the direction, and obviously the set is incredible. Apparently, as a child, I went to the prison that was filmed in Ohio. Like, I visited that place. I barely remember it. Like, I have pictures and I kind of remember being there. I just didn't put two and two together until my dad told me the other day. So that was super cool. It's such a well done movie and I'm so mad at myself that I haven't seen it before. Like, it's very heartbreaking. Obviously very hard to watch at times, but I feel like it really hits on the subject and it penetrates the heart in a really beautiful way. And I just loved it so much, and for like an older film, like I absolutely adored it. And usually I like have a hard time getting into older movies for some reason. I think it's just because I'm so set in like what I'm looking for, but I really love that one. And there's some good action in it, but also lots of drama and aggression and really funny at times and just really heartwarming, and the ending is just so good. Like, I just loved it a lot. And then the next movie that I watched this past week was Rear Window, of course, Alfred Hitchcock, which I've seen bits and pieces of this movie, but I never really just sat and like let myself watch the whole thing. My dad is super into old movies, so I like feel like I knew a lot of this movie, but I didn't really like pay attention. So Rear Window, of course, Alfred Hitchcock, and it has Jimmy Stewart in it, who's such an amazing actor in his time, and he has a broken leg and he basically just stares out his window all day, and he has binoculars, and then he starts using his camera. He sees like everything happening with his neighbors, and then he realizes that something's kind of fishy with one of his neighbors across the street, and that he thinks this man has killed his wife. So he starts to get really interested, and Grace Kelly's in it, and she is so beautiful, and like I love her character so much, and she kind of gets into it as well as his nurse, and they all dive into this mystery, and they kind of start gathering clues to find out what happened to this man's wife and if he actually killed her or not, and they get a detective involved. It's just really good. Obviously it just takes place in this backyard, but Alfred Hitchcock does such a great job using the camera and getting a scene for everybody and just getting a feel for the neighborhood and like who the people are. I just really loved it, and I thought it was really fun. It was very thrilling and it was cute and it was romantic, and I just absolutely loved it. So that one is another good one that I got to see. And a similar one that I watched right after was To Catch a Thief, another Alfred Hitchcock movie. Grace Kelly's in it. I have such a big crush on her. She's so cool. And I forget the other actor's name. This one follows a man who used to be a jewel thief a few years ago, and he's left that life behind, but now there is another jewel thief on the loose and he gets blamed for it, so he's on the run from the cops. So he's kind of hiding out with these other people and trying not to be discovered. Ends up staying with this girl who's played by Grace Kelly and her mom. And the girl starts blaming him because her jewels go missing. And so he has to work really hard to find this actual thief because everyone's putting the blame on him. He's constantly on the run. It's also pretty thrilling, very mysterious. I didn't like it quite as much as I like Rear Window. And I know there's like so many other Alfred Hitchcock movies I need to watch. I've seen The Birds. I think I've seen Psycho, I don't really remember, but this one was pretty fun. It wasn't like super crazy and I kind of got bored with it once in a while. It wasn't as good as Rear Window, but I did still really appreciate it and I thought it was a really good film and pretty well done for its time. I love Grace Kelly so much. There's a beautiful shot of her in her white dress like draped across the sofa in her like jewel necklace, and I just love that so much. It was such a beautiful shot. Okay, next up, the last movie that I'm going to be talking about that I just watched recently was Jojo Rabbit, and I've actually watched this movie before. I saw it when it came out in theaters, and you guys, I did not think I was going to like this movie when I went and saw it because I'm not really big into comedy. Taika Waititi does such a great job combining seriousness and comedy in the same movie. Like, he takes a serious subject, finds ways to make it funny while also keeping it serious at certain parts, and it's such a well done movie. This movie follows a little boy named Jojo, played by Roman Griffin Davis, and his mom is played by Scarlett Johansson, iconic, and Jojo is obsessed with being a Nazi. Like, he loves Hitler. Hitler is literally his imaginary friend, and he is so into the war and what's happening, and he's really into politics. Like, he loves being a Nazi. Like, it's like his dream to be on Hitler's like front line, like to be his main soldier. So Jojo ends up getting hurt while he's at this little like Nazi kids camp and ends up having to stay home. His mom, oh, Scarlett Johansson, she does such an amazing job with this movie. So his mom's been out and about a lot lately. She's like hardly ever home. So one day when Jojo's by himself, he hears something in his sister's room. His sister unfortunately has passed away, but he thinks he hears like a ghost in her room. He ends up opening the wall and finding out that his mom is keeping a Jewish girl in there. And Jojo is freaked out. Of course, he doesn't like Jews because that's what he's been raised to think. And he decides to start writing a book about Jews because he's like, oh, this will like help me in the future. And he starts talking to this girl. Her name is Elsa. And at first, he's really scared of her. And she's, you know, kind of letting him play along with this idea that Jews are these horrible people. And he develops a huge crush on her. It's like so cute. But obviously the war is still going on, really bad things are happening. It becomes obviously more serious that his mom is hiding a Jewish girl in their house. It gets pretty sad and intense at times, but this film is so beautiful. I love that it's really, really funny at times, but also really sad. And I was so enamored by it. Like, I really didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did. And it's probably one of my most favorite films of 2019. And I just loved it so much. Taika Waititi deserved best screenplay for sure. Like, it was so good, and I'm so happy that this film did pretty well. Yeah, so that was the other movie I watched, and it has such a beautiful ending, and I love the writing of it. I love the look of the film, the cinematography, and just the characters, the acting. This was Roman Griffin Davis's first professional gig, and he just like killed it. Like, in his work with Scarlett Johansson is so beautiful, and I loved it so much. And Taika Waititi playing Hitler, absolutely hilarious. Like, if you guys haven't watched this film, definitely take some time, just go watch it. It's totally worth the time. And if you have to rent it, worth the money. Okay guys, those are just a few of the movies I've watched recently. Hopefully this was kind of interesting. I just really want to include more stories in my life and share my love for film and for movies with you guys. That's all I have for you today. If you like this video, be sure to give it a nice little thumbs up. If you want to keep following me on this booktube journey, please subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ErikaAGobble. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!